Yo, what's good, fam? It's your man Jay. I'm back with another episode of Evolutionary Comics, and thank you guys for tuning in. I got a lot of stuff, yo. So, from the last video, I had a lot of stuff in my pull box, and I wanted to pick up as much as I could. And I don't really remember, like, cause this has been like for a couple of weeks that I've been grabbing stuff and trying to fill in all the fillers of the things that I was missing. My pull box is crazy. I have I'm trying to be like my man BJ Kicks and set a budget, because that's the smart way to collecting, especially if you're a reader. It's very easy to get caught up in different series, and you'll be reading Avengers, and then there's a spin-off, or definitely like with X-Men. The X-Men, then you have these spin-offs and everything, and then you don't want to miss out, and you're trying to, stay up to date with the story, so you're ending up buying 4 or 5 different X-Men titles. But we all know that, that's not smart, and Marvel knows that, it's kind of like a money grab a little bit, but nevertheless, some of these stories, they do get kind of addictive. It's like a soap opera where, like, Sam and Twitch, they had been on this run trying to figure out this string of this drug running company who were putting microchips in people and stuff like that. And it's kind of like reality, so if you don't know who Sam and Twitch are, they're the detectives that are a part of the Spawn universe. I just found out through reading the last issue that I read that they were, cool with Spawn. They were friends of Spawn. Their first appearance was in Spawn issue number 1. So when Spawn jumped on the scene, they jumped on the scene as well. And this is just their spin-off, and it's from the Spawn universe, like I said. But anyway, I got a lot of stuff. I got some mail, and I finally made it over to Ollie's. If you don't know about Ollie's, if you don't have an Ollie's in your city, find a city that's close to you that does, because I got an amazing pickup from Ollie's. But I'm gonna show you as usual, because this is how it tends to be for some reason. And I'm not gonna talk about what it should be or how it's gonna be or whatever. Just talk about what it is for now. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend. You guys are just coming off a Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, found something to be thankful, even if you don't particularly celebrate the holiday in the way that America tries to celebrate it. So we know we don't care about Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims and what they did and the atrocities they committed. But it is a good time to get with family and get some good food, and that's what we did. So, saying that, I want to shout out my cousin Quinn. I hope she watches this, and I'm gonna tell her to watch it, because in the first couple minutes I'm gonna say so. But anyway, shout out my cousin Quinn. I found out that she is a hell of a cook. She saved my Thanksgiving, really. I was a little bit down because I couldn't go home. And I was at some people's house that I really didn't know. And, she came through because, they were part of their family or whatever. And, she was like, I cook too. And we went over to her house and made plates. And I can say that night I went to bed full and satisfied. I was super happy because my cousin Quinn came through. So shout out to her. So shout out Quinn. What else? Yeah, so that's what it is. So happy Thanksgiving. We back to work tomorrow. I'm recording this as of Sunday, the last day of November. Tomorrow is December 1st, and we're gonna try to go steamrolling into the new year, into 2026, and make it what 2025 was supposed to be. 2024 and 2025 kind of sucked a lot for me, but yes, it was on some Diddy. They tried to get you, boy. But anyway, we're gonna do what we do. This is Evolutionary Comics, and let's get it. All right, so like I said, I got a stack. I really don't even know where to begin. So I'm gonna just start showing y'all stuff and just talking about stuff. So this, I got a stack over here of stuff that I'm still trying to catch up on. And the way I remember is I don't take down, the bag and board. Some stuff isn't bag and boarded yet, so I just picked it up. Trying to catch up with the Ultimate Spider-Man run. I got this is 21 and 22. Picked up those. The only reason I haven't read these yet is because I didn't realize I didn't have 20, so I got to go back and pick up that. And yeah, I really don't even know what's going on with it because it's been so long since I was reading it. But I talk about Rick Remender and a new book that he has out, which I'll mention in a little bit. But one of the books that kind of caught me up with him is The Sacrificers. We're gonna see what happens with Pigeon and Saluna. Right here, she is like the sun god. I forgot his name in the story, but that's his daughter. She had been missing. She had been on the run. She was trying to get back. She had lost her powers or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna try to see what's up with her. But like I say, I'm missing some stuff, so I got to go back and get issue 16 because this is 17. I missed that. Something I haven't been falling behind on is this Exquisite Corpses. This is an excellent read. This is is James Tinian madness, yo. So basically, if you don't know about it, you're not up on it. Exquisite Corpses is where these families, they get together and they have this tournament, and then they get these 12 killers to come together, and then they take them to a town and they have to do battle. They're on a killing spree. See who racks up the most kills, and also killing the other killers. Those are the things that whoever wins, whatever family representative wins, that's who runs the country basically, because they're supposed to be the 12 powerful families of America or whatever, something like that. But it's excellent, and I've been missing out on these cards here. I got to tape down. I'm gonna just show you like that. So the bag and board, the bag poly bag ones. That's the words I'm trying to find. The poly bag ones, they actually come with these cards in them, and there's a couple that I'm missing. I'm hoping to snatch all of them up and get all 12 of the killers eventually. I think I have like maybe 5 right now, so trying to get those. A book that I raved about in one of my previous 2 videos by AJ Ampadu from the Valiant Universe. This is Tales of Shadow Man, and when it first came out, I did not get it, and not because I work on Wednesdays, and so I'm late to get into the comic book shop, so they had only ordered a couple. But the person there that has taken Natalie's place, her name is Jo, and she is an angel because she is trying to make up for Natalie not being there. So between her and Miss Cat, they be trying to keep me in the game, and Miss Jo ordered this for me, so appreciate you, Jo. Yeah, so this is by AJ Ampado. This is an excellent read. This is definitely something that if you're not reading it, if you know about Jack Boniface and the Shadow Man, if you're into voodoo and New Orleans lore, this is definitely something that I think you're going to enjoy. All right, so catching up with my Avengers stuff as well. I got Avengers 30 and this is Avengers 31. And not going to tell you about the story because I don't really remember. I know, I picked it up and I was reading it because T'Challa is in it. And, T'Challa had been laying the smack down. He was T'Challa of old. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed the story. But there's a new villain. I can't think of his name, but there's a new villain that they're about to have to deal with. And, so I'm excited about that. So I'm excited to get back to that. Picked up Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu. I've been reading that as well. This is by Jed McKay, artwork by Cabone and Rosenberg. And I think the last time we talked about this one, Moon Knight was trying to battle I guess he was a lesser god from Asgard. He had came down. I didn't even know Asgard was getting down like that, but this was a lesser god from Asgard. He had come down and he was selling dope. He was selling this new drug. And Moon Knight was like, nah, not in my city, not in my area. You're not going to get down like that. and he laid the smack down on Moon Knight, and my man had to get some retribution. So he finally got some retribution by using his mind instead of his brawn, because he was getting cracked. He was getting his ass whooped. To be quite frankly, or whatever they say. But yeah, so pick that up as well. Um, I got to get that Miles Morales fix on, so I got Miles Morales 38. I thought this was a dope cover, and I got the regular A cover for 39. And yeah, Cody Ziegler is still writing this. Like I knew that. I don't know why I had to look at the book, because he's been on it for a minute. This is issue 40. This was one of the variants. I thought this was a cool variant that was on the table. I'm not sure if this was like the C cover, D cover, whatever, but it was an elevated price. But then I also saw at another shop, because I picked this up from Emerald City, I believe. I don't remember. Wherever I picked it up, I picked up that one. And then I also saw that Inuk Lee, I think that's how you say his name, but he has these Street Verse covers. And I had to have this one, that Miles. That's pretty dope. I like these covers with that hip hop infusion, And then I picked up this Avengers 32, which is going to go with my other Avengers books, but this is T'Challa. So yeah, I thought those covers were dope. I do know that Storm has a cover. I want to cop hers, and a couple other people have covers, but those are the only people that I really care too much about grabbing theirs. Going along with 13, I thought this was a cool cover for Moon Knight 14, so I picked this one up as well. And I had to catch up with the Ultimates, so I picked up 13, 14, already had 15, so I don't know how I missed those other ones. I just think the cover caught my attention, and I knew I was reading it, so I picked up this one. Picked up 16, and I picked up 17, and as you see, that's the Return of the Maker. So I picked up that one, and then I also picked up 18. And I just heard from somebody else's channel. I actually turned from their channel because they were about to, go into some spoilers. But I'm not gonna go into no spoilers. But I'm gonna just say, my man, he gives an epic speech, or they say that he gives an epic speech. So definitely ready to read that and find out what was going on with them, what direction they're going into. Because if you don't know, if you haven't been reading the Ultimates, from the Ultimate Spider-Man universe, the Ultimate the Incursion, that's what it is. That's these words. I just trying to grab these words out of the air. So from Ultimate Spider-Man, the Incursion, which is Miles Morales, Miles had to go to this alternate universe, and he had to save his sister Billy. While he was there, he found out that the little box that people had been finding in the universe that he currently exists in, that's how they were getting their powers. That's how Peter Parker, got his powers at a late age, as opposed to the one we're used to when he got it as a teenager. But all of these boxes, which are spread out, and different people had come across them and became superheroes or villains. Miles ends up with a box with like multiples in there, and as he comes back, they give him the box to bring it back for safety. But apparently something happens, and I guess it's going to affect this Ultimate and the other Ultimate universes as well. And there's going to be like a big end game event. So I definitely wanted to pick that up so I can jump back over and see what's going on with the Miles version. But it's been pretty decent. It's been pretty good. So you guys, if you haven't been reading it, check it out. And if you have, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments, and let's talk about it. All right, and these two are on top because this is Batman and Static Beyond, Batman Beyond and Static. Haven't read this one yet, but this cover is by Denise Cowan, and I think it's written by Evan Narcisse, and Nicholas Draper Ivy is doing the artwork. So yeah, so I got to read this one, but this was on my stack of immediate reads. It was over on the couch because I was gonna check that out. And then this Imperial, I was going for the Scotty Young cover for this Imperial, but this one will do. Any sexy She-Hulk stuff will do. I like hey, I'm a fan of Captain James T. Kirk, so I got an affinity for green women. So go figure. So anyway, I'm definitely gonna read that. And speaking of green women, grab this stack, and right on top, catching up with Sojourner Mullen, Green Lantern Joe, and this is a dope cover. I actually took a picture of a friend of mine's daughter, who she's a dancer, and she did like her ballet thing, and caught a cool little picture like that, but it's in blue instead of green. But yeah, I thought this cover was really dope, and yeah. So anyway, but I'm reading this, so I got to find out what's going on. So I got 7 and 8, and as I'm prone to be, as apparently as you see, I forgot 6. So I got 6 and 7. I read 5, so I got to go back and get 6. But I got a little list what I'm making, so this week I'll grab those as well. Like everybody else, I grabbed this Absolute Batman. Thought this was a great story. I thought it was a nice little interlude from the Absolute Batman universe, which is absolutely dope. I'm loving that. It is absolutely at the top of my list of favorite Batman stories, and I love the fact that that the way he's pushing it, that Dan Snyder is pushing it, is just going deeper and deeper with adding the Rogues Gallery and their different stories. So it's really dope. It's definitely a dope book. It's probably going to be I don't know. I think it's right now. It's for the year. The year's almost over, so I guess I can say it. It's going to be one of the top 3 books of the year, as far as the writing goes. So, y'all write it down, mark it in ink, blood, whatever you want. Absolute Batman is the truth, and they can't keep it on the shelves. I got stagnant because I'm gonna say it. I showed you Absolute Batman, the annual, which was very, very, very difficult to come across. Joe had to order this one for me, and then I picked up this week. Just this week, I picked up what is this? 14. Yeah, this is 14, and I have all the other ones with the exception of 11. For a while, I was hunting 9, and I found I got 9 on the, I think it was the second or the third reprinting. Yeah, so I got that one, but now I'm waiting for 11, and I think this week or next week 11 is going to be coming out. But like it is like that. It's like that. If you miss it, then you might be in trouble. You might be waiting around for the trade paperback to come out or something like that, or you can get it on digital. I guess that DC Universe thing. But anyway, I wanted it in the collection because y'all know I got. If I start with one floppy, I got to go ahead and finish the run because that's just how I am. All right, but anyway, that's definitely one of the top reads. Speaking of top reads, my man Rodney Barnes, I picked up this, and this is Crownsville, and Crownsville is a hospital that's based, I guess, is outside of Maryland or somewhere where Rodney Barnes was, where he actually lived. I think this was like a psychiatric hospital for African Americans, and they did horrible experiments, as America has shown a propensity to do. And this is like a horror story based around that. The first issue was really good, and I forgot. It's so good. I forgot the guy's name, the main character's name. But I'm gonna tell you that if I was in his position, I would have quit. I know he got a family, but some of the stuff that has happened since he's been he just started the job, he just goes to the hospital, and the first day is crazy. I don't know, call me a coward or whatever you want, but when it comes to supernatural stuff, hey, all I know is to turn to the Bible, cause and start praying to the Lord, cause it's some crazy stuff that was going on, and he's in it. He's in the mix already. So this is already starting off to be a good one. I can't wait to see what happens in the second issue. And yeah, Rodney Barnes doing his thing as always. One of the greats. Picked up Rook Exodus, and this is number 8. And this is being written by Jeff Johns, Jason Fabik, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lay. And this is an excellent read too. Like I said before, anything by Ghost Machine that Jeff Johns is putting out has been classic. It's been really, really dope. If it's not Hyde Street or some of the other titles, it's been excellent. Everything that Ghost Machine is putting out. Ironically, I say that, but the Glowing Man, Geiger, I haven't I kind of stopped picking up those. I stopped reading those, but it wasn't because the story wasn't good or anything like that. There was like a lull in one of the issues, I think, which happens all the time with comics, and like whenever, especially with floppies, because they're telling a longer story. Sometimes you might get one issue that you be kind of iffy about. And that's what happened. I was kind of iffy, and I never came back to it because, as you see, I have so much other stuff to read. So, go figure. But that Ghost Machine imprint is doing its thing. Jeff Johns is out there. And speaking of another imprint that is on Image, and another Image imprint that's doing their thing is Todd McFarlane's Spawn Universe. And this is 18 and 19 of Sam and Twitch, and this is the case file. So 18 is actually wrapping up the arc of this story. They close out this particular case, and they're getting ready to move on, and then something happens. As with detectives, they're in like a cool down period after a big case, and when they go into this one, an old case pops up. One of Sam's old cases. Okay, I forgot to. Let me show you. This is Sam, and the little guy's Twitch. So Sam had a case from back in the day, and some stuff pops up, and this case is crazy already out the gate. In issue 19, it already shows you what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be tough. So issue 19 is gonna be crazy. So it's going to be tough because Sam has some PTSD going on from that case and that was actually when Twitch was a rookie, but Sam is, he's the OG on the team. He's a loose cannon, but he has to deal with some mental stuff that relates to the case. So issue 19 gets you wrapped up immediately. If you haven't been reading it, if you didn't pick up the first 1 through 18 of Sam and Twitch case files, go ahead and grab 19 because the story is popping, and they're doing a great job. Let me tell you who's writing it, because let me see. I just pulled it up and I'm looking at some of the upcoming covers. So Thomas Healy and Von Randall are actually writing, starting with 19, and let's see. Yeah, I thought they were gonna say something about this new villain, and I'll just say it's a copycat serial killer. Hope that wasn't a spoiler, but they think it's a copycat serial killer. They don't know if it's the actual the original or what, but it's crazy. And they got your boy Sam shook. Speaking of serial killers, I'm not doing it on purpose. I swear I'm not. But I just segue into one thing to the next. And this is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. And I'm loving these covers. I'm trying to get all the these homage covers, because like what's his name with the crown? I can't even think of his dang name. The little boy with the crown. This always he had a blue crown. He was just creating worlds with it. Anyway, that's what the homage cover is from. Somebody tell me in the comments before I have to look it up. Y'all tell me what. I want to say his name was Billy Casper. I don't freaking remember. But anyway, that's what this cover is from. So Sam has taken the duck sister, I can't remember her name, and sent her on a mission. And I know Sam is setting her up. Sam is the bear. She's the original killer. This is issue number 4 of The Rites of Spring. So if you missed the first part, out the gate they let you know that Sam is the killer. So the sister of one of her first kills, or the first kill that opened up the story in the first part, is looking for her brother's killer. They know he's dead or whatever, but she wants some kind of retribution. Sam is playing it smart and got befriended her and has sent her on a mission to do something that's gonna get her caught up, and she gets caught up in this, and you can see the web that Sam is weaving. So this is, with the crayons and stuff, this is perfect for this particular issue. Y'all definitely check this out. It is one of the best reads. It's definitely, if I made a top 10 list, you know what I'm saying, of comics period that are out right now for you to read, I'm telling you, if I make that top 10 list, that is definitely, I ain't gonna say it's in the top 5, but it might be. It might be. I might do that. I might, that's another episode. That's more content. So yeah, thank y'all for telling me that. Thank y'all for, putting that thought in my head. So cool. All right, so this next book that I picked up is Catacomb of Torment, and this is another one of those new horror covers. I had been reading or picking up Epitaph of the Abyss, and I tried to get all of those covers, like because they were all like horror covers. Those were really classic ones. But this is like, I guess, part of that wave. But also John Jennings, I think that was John Jennings who, let's I don't want to be misspeaking. And was it? Nope. See, that's why I had to read, because I was gonna say, I don't know why John Jennings is in my thought process, but one of the stories in this one is the book is Catacomb of Torment, but the story, These Are the Colors That Run, and it's written by a lady named Patricia A. Jackson. Shout out to my Jackson fam. It's family over everything. And Sean Martinborough. So those are, if you look. All right, so this is a book that I didn't know about, and the homie DJ Big Phil mentioned it, and he put a post on Facebook about it. But it came out around the same time as that Absolute Batman Annual, and everybody was going crazy over that because how Batman did the white supremacist. And but this was something. This story in this one is the one that was missed. The one that Miss Patricia Jackson and Sean Martinborough did is just as dope, and wasn't hero focused like that. But we got our own hero in this particular book, and like people were buzzing about it. And then when DJ Phil, Big Phil said something about it, I knew I had to grab this as well. So I don't know. This is the little storyteller guy. He is in all of these books. What is they keep saying it's an entertaining comic. I don't know, it's EC imprint or whatever, but so I'm gonna let y'all see real quick, and it has the Klan in it, and they get dealt with. So I'm not gonna let y'all see the whole story, because y'all need to go read it, pick it up. And if you haven't, I'm actually gonna pick up another copy so I can send it to my pops and let my dad check it out, because I think he'd get a kick out of it. It's really dope. It's a dope book. It's a dope read. If you can get over the horror cover and get to the inside to that first story, you're gonna love it. You're gonna dig it. So you hear that, Dad? If you listen and you're watching it, definitely check out that book, because you be buying me comic books all the time. Of course, I gotta buy you a comic book here and there. So yeah. And speaking of my dad and that Black Panther movement that he taught me about back in the day, Huey Newton and Eldridge Cleaver and the other Panthers, little Bobby Hutton, all of those. Anyway, so we gonna talk about this right here, this Ultimate Black Panther 22, and it's actually, like I was mentioning when I said something about the other Ultimates, this one is coming to a close. So Brian Hill is going to be wrapping this up, I guess, in the next couple of issues. And I saw it in a solicit about it, but the story is dope. And if I'm not mistaken, like I'm trying to catch up on my reading, I'm not mistaken, a baby was born, and it wasn't little T'Challa, that people are worried about being in the movie and everything, which I don't want that little dude either. I mean, I want T'Challa, the T'Challa, to be in the next MCU movie, but we definitely don't want this little baby either, because this little baby got some issues. So anyway, y'all check this out because that's another pickup. It was dope. And let's define the term called dope. All right, so real quick, picked up Roots of Madness by Stephanie Williams. I'm gonna give that one a chance. The first one was kind of mid for me, but I like her and I like her work, so I'm gonna give this second one a read before the third issue comes out. The same thing with this Spider-Man Noir. I don't know why I'm showing y'all the books that way. Same thing with this Spider-Man Noir. So first one was okay, kind of mid, but I know that in either 3 or 4 there's a new villain that they're gonna show, and the next one is like Plasma Man, and then there was this other dude in I think 4, looked like a brother, so I definitely wanted to check that out. I picked up this Age of Revelation X-Men. This is issue 0. I picked that up, and also picked up one of the, I think this was like the B cover of issue 1. So I'm gonna read those. I still haven't read them because, jury's out if I want to even go down that rabbit hole with them. This World to Come with Quesada and Christopher Priest. I've been enjoying this story despite, what's going on. It keeps me intrigued, keeps me interested. I guess the way they did it was, to do that to us, to make us be so super curious about this little kid that obviously King T'Challa in the future adopted, who's actually Agent Ross's son, and he's adopted him as his own son, and now this little, turd done tried to take over, or he has taken over as the King of Wakanda. So I don't know. If you like me, you got to just get over it and see what happens. So that's what we doing. We waiting around to see what happens. But it's being written decently, and Christopher Priest is doing his thing. I'm just like, let's get to the point as he's spinning his little web. This Mark Millar, I picked up this series from Nemesis. I read the last run of Nemesis. This is Nemesis Forever. This is 1. This is 2. And this is 3, which is crazy. It's crazy work with Nemesis with the little kids on his lap, like he's a good guy. And I picked up this. I can't remember what comic book channel that I was watching, but they had a string of like these adult comic books, and they had some dope internal artwork that I kind of liked, and I like nudity, so even in the comic book. So I picked up this one, and this is Zap Comics, and this is issue number 13. And Emerald City, they had a bunch of them, and I know me and my man Shedrick at Plant City, he collects stuff like that as well. So just something else to collect. So yeah, picked up that, and showing the books that I picked up this week, other than this Absolute Batman 14. I was trying to figure out what other book so other than this Absolute Batman 14, which I picked up this Wednesday that just passed, I also picked up this Daredevil and Punisher by Jimmy Palmiotti. Shout out to Jimmy Palmiotti and Miss Amanda Connor. Their office is at Emerald City, so I get to see them a lot. I saw Jimmy like maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's funny because I'm like, I met him, had been talking to him for probably a couple of months, and then it just clicked one day when I picked up a Black Panther comic book and I saw his name on it, and I'm like, yo, is that the same dude? And I found out it was the same dude, and I'm like, this dude is a legendary comic book creator and a writer, artist, the whole nine. And then Amanda Connor, I'm not a big Harley Quinn fan, but that's his wife, and Miss Amanda, she is just as sweet as pie. She signed a whole bunch of books for me. Both of them actually did, and it's like, they just good people. So not only is Jimmy a good person, but he is a hell of a writer, because this first issue, got me pulled in. I'm a big Daredevil fan. I don't talk about Daredevil enough, I feel like, on this channel, but I absolutely love Daredevil. He is another one of my favorite characters, and the artwork is definitely commensurate with the writing. Let me try to get it without the glare, so much glare or whatever. But anyway, y'all see that. But yeah, so the artwork is dope. The writing is dope. I can't wait for issue 2 to come out. So yeah, this is definitely something that has me hooked in as well. Speaking of great stories, I got Escape by Rick Remender, who I talked about earlier. This is an absolutely dope read. This guy here, the bear, he is at, it's like basically like he's a bomber pilot, and it's back in, you know, the age of World War II, I think it is, but like World War II, because it's not, because it's a whole different thing, but it's like a similar type thing. Anyway, he goes off to war, leaves family. He used to be a crop duster, you know, driving crop dusters and stuff like that, and he ends up being a bomber pilot, and he gets shot down. He's on a mission, and he is behind enemy lines, and you know, a lot is going on with him trying to escape. But this is absolutely a dope read. Rick Remender is doing his damn thing with this one. I like this one even better than definitely I say better than the Sacrifices, even though Sacrifices was really good. It was really high on my list. I haven't read Scumbag, which me and my man Kenya is talking about. He put me on to that, and I never actually read it. I started collecting the covers, and if you look at the video before this one, or the one before that, the last 2 videos I made, I ordered from my comic shop, and I got some extra covers. But I'm gonna read that. I'm probably gonna find a trade. I'm probably gonna find a trade paperback for Scumbag. But I do like the covers, and it's a couple more covers that I was gonna say it's a lot. It's not really a lot. I think it was like a 12 issue run, but there's a few more covers that I want to add to the collection because covers are hella dope. I love those covers. This one is a second printing of issue 1, and grab that one. This is issue 4, and like I say, it's hella dope. You know, you guys, you know, might want to check it out. And even like the artwork, like I say, the perfect comic book, I always talk about this, and I always say the perfect comic book is the comic book where the cover attracts your eye when you walk past, makes you want to pick it up, and then you look in it and you see some really dope artwork on the inside, and then when you read it, it all wraps it up. It all brings it together. To me, that's what makes up a perfect comic book. A comic book that I would give, you know, 5 slabs to. That's my own little rating system that I honor to the source. But like 5 mics, I give it 5 slabs. And this is a book that absolutely meets that criteria. It does. Rick is doing a great job, and if I had something to recommend to somebody who's not so into the superhero comics that just wanted to pick up something that had a good story, I would tell them, yo, go check out Escape by Rick Remender. It's on Giant Generator and Image Comics. And it's dope. Image is dominating. I'm just realizing that all I pick up is Marvel and Image. Marvel and Image. Anyway, speaking of iconic comic book creators, and this is Robert Kirkman's Skinbreaker. And this one, I liked it. I enjoyed the story. But it's crazy because some people have been talking about that it's not that good, and you know, Robert Kirkman is, you know, fell off because of this one. But I like the story so far. I'm really interested in seeing what happens in issue 3. I haven't read it yet, but in issue 1, the tribal chief, it sets the story, you know, the relationship between the tribal chief and his I guess it's his second in command, and the only way you can become chief is by ritual combat and then killing the previous chief. The dude didn't want to do it, and he ended up doing it in issue 2. And I guess this is what's is going on with the story. But if you look at the back, this dude right here, he's the antagonist of the story. I was gonna say the nemesis. He's the jerk of the story that you know, he want to do things his own way, and he want to be in charge. So he want to do things his own way. He just want to be in charge. So the book is a pretty good book, and since I showed you the artwork and the other ones, might as well show you the artwork in this one too. So you guys, if you're reading this, let me know. Let me know. I mean, some of the covers are pretty dope. Like I said, I haven't been able to like get various covers because, because I'm at work. I'm doing my day job, and then by the time I make it there, I could be smart and do my research to see what's out, and then let them know, hey, I want this cover or this cover. But I'm just taking my chances now. So yeah, that's what I picked up. I also, and thanks to Joe for hooking me up and ordering this last issue of Illuminati by Charlemagne the God. It's written by Brian Hill and Dennis Cowan, and artwork by Dennis Cowan and Sienkiewicz. I think that's the way you say his name. But this is issue 505. These hip hop covers, these homage hip hop covers are really dope. And I got to see what happens and see if old girl ends up finding out what happened to her sister, and if she actually keeps herself from being killed. So, oh, first page. Let me try to. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna show y'all some of the artwork, but yeah, I'll just show you some of where they talking, because on the first page they not, well, he's moving his mouth, but he not talking to her upper lip. So first page of the last issue. Damn. Okay, that's the way y'all doing it. I'm not gonna say nothing about it. Do y'all thing. But anyway, skating past that, if you haven't been reading this, the homage cover is done by Dennis Cowan and Marco Lesko, and that's that old DB album cover, if y'all remember, Old Dirty Bastard from the Wu-Tang clique. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to, So, yeah, this is what I picked up. This is all of everything that I'm trying to catch up on my reading with. And like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all about Ollie's, my little trip to Ollie's, and gotta use two hands to reach. So I picked up this, I don't even know what you call it, because it's not a trade paperback, it's a trade hardcover, but Black Panther, and this is what they call it, Avengers of the New World. So I think it's multiple stories. Yeah, I guess it's multiple issues, multiple floppies, and they're telling a story that by time all the stuff that Ta-Nehisi Coates had written. But you got Manifold, and you got Shuri when she comes back from the dead. But yeah, the artwork is dope, and yeah, I'm super happy that I picked this up. And the reason why, I'm super happy, because like I'm always picking up Black Panther stuff, but this is a $34.99 book, if y'all can see that. And I got this from Ollie's from $7. This was $7, $7.99. Pick that up. That is the cost of a special floppy. And so I'm super happy to have that, because I do want to get more, I guess you call them omnibus books or whatever. Yeah, speaking of omnibus books, I picked up this one too. Picked up the Christopher Priest run of Black Panther. And this, Mark Texeira on the artwork, Christopher Priest. And this says collecting Black Panther 1 through 33. Also Deadpool issue number 44. And material from Marvel Double Shot number 2. Written by Christopher Priest and illustrated by Mark Texeira, Vince Evans, Joe Jesko, Amanda Connor, who I just mentioned, Mike Manley, Mark Bright, Sal Veluso, Kyle Hotz, Tom Coker, Norm Brayfogle, Jim Calafiore, and Paulo Rivera. So yeah, so this is another omnibus. I got a couple omnibuses in my collection. Super happy to have this one, and it's an education, because just as I had been speaking about Jimmy Palmiotti actually doing artwork on Black Panther, I never knew that Amanda Connor did as well until just now. So that's hella dope. So And these are people that I chop it up with. I can't say we friends because we talk and you occasionally send a message on Instagram to each other. We cool when they see me, they know my name. But to me, they're greats because they worked on a comic book of my favorite character. So yeah, so I'm gonna show y'all. Let me flip it open up, and Craven trying to throw the smack down on my man. I got all of these issues. Like I told y'all before, if you've been listening, I have the entire collection of Black Panther comics, all the way from Jungle Action, the McGregor run, the Christopher Priest run, Reginald Hudlin. I have The Man Without Fear when T'Challa goes and takes over for Daredevil. I have all of every issue of Black Panther, and that's where I got back into collecting comics. Was I was on a mission to get all of those. So there's like 4 or 5 boxes around here that have all of that entire collection. So now I'm getting it where I can take it with me, or I can sit in a chair and read without having to get up to go get more floppies. So yeah, this is pretty dope. I didn't even think about taking the paper off. Didn't even think about that, but you take the paper cover off, and you take the paper cover off, and that purple goodness. That's dope. That's dope. So yeah, that's real fire. I like that. I do like that indeed. So anyway, I'm gonna wait before I put that back on, and finally, before I go, I got a package. Nah, I was gonna do the whole Blues Clues. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Tell me who it's from. But I don't remember when he sung the song about getting a package in the mail. So anyway, I know what it is. I bought this off of from the shop app, and this came from Super 7. So whenever I do get around to doing a room tour, I'm gonna show you some of the other stuff that I got from Super 7. But if you know me, they sent me a sticker. That's why I like them, because they always send these stickers. Got me another sticker. Got the invoice because I keep all my receipts. And like I always say, one to rock, one to stock. My favorite group of all time. This is from the Hey Ya video. Outkast, O-U-T cast. So get up off your ass. So yeah, got my man Dre and Big Boy. That's fire. Ice cold. So I picked up that, and I picked up this one. So with these, all my Outcasts, I got the other ones up there from the AT Aliens album. I got that one over there, and I might show y'all that at a later time. But yeah, I picked up that, and I'm hella happy about that. That's fire. That's real dope. Let me let y'all see it up close. Yeah, so anyway, that is everything that I've been picking up over the last month since I've seen you guys last, since I've talked to you all last. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is, picking up stuff that they really are enjoying, that they're really reading. I hope you guys, this is almost an hour-long video. Hope you guys have gotten something from this video. Something educational, something that you didn't know. I might have slipped up and said something smart here or there. But yeah, I'm just happy to have enough reading material, because I am going through a phase of life where I am definitely enjoying books more than people. I lost some good friends, or I lost some people that I thought of was good friends, and they chose to walk away and not be in my life anymore because they're kind of attached to that's weird, because I'm going to say they're not attached to reality. But this is a comic book channel where I'm attached to Fantasy World. So anyway, not gonna get on that tangent. But I am enjoying reading. Shout out to my Rooted Reads book club. I will see you guys on Wednesday. If you guys watch to this point, I love you to death. We have been reading Sula by Toni Morrison, and that's our book for the month. And I am almost done, and we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, I read more than comic books too. So anyway. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about, but maybe I need to just make another video and put it out at another date where it's a little bit shorter, because if you've made it this far, you're probably ready to go. Anyway, love y'all. Continue to evolve. This is your man Jay. This is Evolutionary Comics. Peace.